All right, now I want to show you a couple of other tools. Let's actually abort the merge. But before we go there, I actually want to show you the diffs as well, right? Because like most of the merge tools, you can use them also as diff tools, and we actually haven't properly talked about the diff command at all. Okay, so the way the diff command works is that you just run gdiff and then you give it two things or three things, right? So we're going to do main and topic, right? So it basically says, compare them. This is how it looks like. Also, you can use a syntax with two dots over here, main dot dot. Also, as a reminder, you're never comparing branches, right? Remember, these are just the pointers, right? So if we do gdiff and then we do 39cb, which is the main, and we're going to do dot dot. This is called a range, by the way. And then we do 8f46, right? So basically compare these two. It's exactly the same as what we did before, right? So it looks exactly the same. Now there's a cooler one, the one that will actually show you what is not merged into main that is still in topic. You can do just three dots like this, okay? And it's gonna look slightly differently, right? So it's basically gonna find the bottom of the merge, right? So the base again, right? And it's gonna diff with that. In fact, I believe that they actually introduced something new related to it. Okay, so if we do, yeah, this one. Okay, so they introduced another longer command that does exactly the same thing, right? So git diff merge base. Let's actually go try it. Okay, so it's gdiff merge. Okay, there's no auto completion yet because it's super new. Merge base. Okay, and then we're gonna do main topic, right? Yeah, so it did exactly the same thing as was the three dots like this main topic. Okay, so this is the most useful one. This is the one that you're going to use all the time. Now, before we run through the diff tools, let me actually show you the more basic way to use diffs, right? Because now we're diffing, like we're giving it to things, but usually when you use diff is when you're just developing, right? So let me actually run vscode. Okay, so let me just go and I don't know, add some stuff, right? So you would just run, git diff, and it would actually, diff was your current working copy. I'm sorry, was the head, right? Because the head points to the current, sort of like the previous commit, not the previous commit, like the current commit, but your working copy diverged, right? So you run git diff, and it shows you exactly this, and there is an alias called gd, which does exactly the same thing. Now check it out. If we do git gaa, right? So if we stage these changes, then if you run git diff, it's actually not going to show you anything. We're going to talk about this more in the upcoming videos, but essentially like these changes are already cached, right? So in fact, you can do git diff cached, and you're still gonna, you're gonna see it again. And there's, stage is the same thing as cached, okay? There's also an alias gds, which shows you exactly the same thing, gds, which is git diff staged. By the way, check this out. So if we do git status, we're gonna see that this is already staged. And we've seen the reset command before, and I said that reset can run in, it can be in three different states. It can be run with three different flags. The one that is run by default is the so-called mixed flag, which is like this, mixed. Okay, we don't need to specify it. So if you run it, and you can just do g reset, or there's an alias grh, right, which just does this. So if you just run it, right, then it will simply unstage this file. Okay, you can also specify the file, but we're just gonna run it like this, and now it says unstaged changes after reset. And again, we're gonna discuss this a bit more in depth. What does it mean, right? But essentially, it's not staged. So GD again shows you exactly what it was before. Okay, so as a reminder, there's an alias grhh, which is the hard one, and the alias which is just grh, which is just reset. So the regular grh, it just unstages things, and grhh actually destroys stuff and moves your pointer backwards. By the way, you can also hold on. Okay, so for example over here, look, I'm just going to do grhh, right? So just to destroy the change that we did. This is exactly what I want to do. The log still looks fine. Okay, I did this just to show you that if you have white spaces, right? So I have a setting in VS Code that would remove the trailing white spaces. I'm actually going to go and do this. I'm going to create a couple more white spaces, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, like this one. Okay, so I'm going to do it first, and I'm going to do second. Okay, so I'm going to save it without formatting, and I'm going to do gd check. okay, and it's going to show us the places that have trailing white spaces, right? So it doesn't show us the first, okay? It's kind of like one of those tools that that are kind of helpful to show you these, because like they're going to look weird in diffs. And by the way, most tools, they have like these flags to say, okay, should I ignore the white, the white space changes, and so on. And just remember, another thing that I wanted to mention is that anytime you're displaying diffs, whether in a tool or not, you're displaying characters visually, right? And not all characters can be displayed visually. A very common example is the line endings. As a reminder, Windows uses different line endings to the Linux systems, right? So, and sometimes you would run git diff and it says, okay, this line changed, right? But you're going to look at them visually, you're not going to see the change. Okay, so be very, it's one of those things to sort of remember. Let's do grhh to destroy all of these changes. Let's finally configure vscode, to run as a diff tool. vscode.cmd. Okay, so now we're going to see how we can see the changes inside of a graphical tool, right? So we're going to do diff two hyphens. Actually, let me do this. Diff, okay, and now the variables that we're going to use is going to be local and remote, like this. I'm going to press enter, bat git config, like this. So this is the configuration for VS Code as a merge tool, and this is the configuration for VS Code as a diff tool, okay? And also VS Code is our default merge tool, so we didn't have to specify anything when we ran a GMT, okay? So now if we go and close VS Code, okay, so before we were running, just git diff gd, and we were saying main topic or something like this, okay? So now we can actually run git diff tool, and there's no alias for this, okay? So we're going to do the same thing, main topic, right? And it's going to say launch VS Code, and I'm going to say no, because I want to specify also the hyphen no prompt to show it to you so that it doesn't ask this, okay? It should just launch VS Code, and this is how it displays the changes. Let me go in full screen. That's how it looks like, okay? And you can go like to the next change, the previous change. And by the way, when you had the conflicts, it also had like these arrows. I forgot to mention it. This is how the changes are displayed. Let's also do the other one, right? So let's do the one with the 3 dots, like this. Okay, there we go. Base, and this is how our topic looks like, and so on. Okay, like this. Now your merge tool is also your, by default, your diff tool, but just for completeness sake, we're also going to do diff tool, I'm sorry, gconfig global diff dot tool VS Code. Okay, so if we look into our config, then we're going to see, okay, our merge dot tool is VS Code, and our diff dot tool is also VS Code, but you don't need to, right? So technically you could use like a different one, but I'm going to show you how to use different ones anyway. Okay, now I'm running through WSL2, so I need to add a couple of settings to show you graphical tools that are not VS Code, because VS Code has a very tight integration with WSL2. Other tools don't have that. Okay, so I'm going to copy something, and I'm going to open my ZSHRC, and I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm simply going to do like this. There we go. Okay, so I just need this thing, and I'm going to shut it down like this. I probably need to terminate it, and also do this. Okay, and I'm gonna do echo display, come on, display. There we go. Okay, it worked. Great. Okay, so let's do this, let's do that. Let's cd into merge playground, like this. This is exactly where we were. Now, for a very long time, I've been a Sublime text user, and they also created a tool called Sublime Merge, and I haven't installed scripts for it. Install Sublime. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab it, Sublime Merge. Okay, I'm gonna copy these 2 lines. I'm going to go and paste them and enter my password. Okay, while it does that, I'm actually gonna go, go away. I'm actually gonna go and show it to you. So it just adds the key, make sure that add transport HTTPS is enabled. Okay, this is actually where it adds the key, does the update, does the install Sublime Merge, and then it echoes smerge is now on the path. Let's actually see how far it is. Smerge is now on the path. So if we do which smerge, there we go. Or the way as I like to call it is smerge. We need to configure it, so we're going to do gconfig global, and I'm going to go into full screen. Okay, so I'm going to do merge tool dot smerge, right? So again, like if the merge tool is smerge, then this is the command that we're going to run. So we're going to do smerge, merge. And by the way, like all of these commands, you know, you don't have to type them. You know, you just look into the docs for the corresponding tool. Okay, so we're going to do base, and then we're going to do $local, then we're going to do $remote, and we're also going to do -o, and we're going to do merged like this. Okay, so if we look into our config, then you're going to see, okay, so if the merge tool is vscode, then this is the command that we're going to run. But if the merge tool is smerge, then this is the command that we're going to run. Okay, great. So now we can go and create our merge conflict, right? GM topic. Okay, and so now if we run GMT, right, we're going to run through VS Code, but we actually don't want to run through VS Code. We actually want to say tool smerge, okay, like this. And because I configured everything, this is how it is going to run. Okay, it's a little small. Maybe we can go into preferences, font space, font size. Let's do 20. There we go. That's exactly what I need. All right, so this is a typical three-way merge. Actually, there should be a bar over here. I'm not sure why we don't see the bar. Like you should be able to move it around. Maybe it's because I'm running through the thing. In any case, on the left you can see the version where we currently are, which is the main branch. Okay, this is the other dev version. Then we're going to see, okay, this is going to be how it's going to look like after we merge it, right? So as of right now, it's going to be a conflict because on the right we have, this is our topic version. Okay, and you can also always see the base, right? So you can click on the base and you can see this is the base version. Okay, so you can switch what you want to see. Okay, so now you're gonna use like these arrows. For example, it says use this hunk, or the way Git calls them is patch, right? So you can click on this arrow and it will move this to over here. Okay, so now we're seeing, okay, this is not a conflict anymore. This is actually now resolved. Okay, and then we're going to click save, and it's closed. And whoops, sorry, over here in the terminal, now it is resolved. GST and GD, GDS, right? So yeah, so this is how it resolved it. Let's actually look into it. Okay, this is our topic version. Okay, so it took the topic version. Great. So let's abort the merge. Now, unfortunately, this tool doesn't have any. The smerge tool doesn't have any extra configuration to configure it to use it as a diff tool. So essentially, you use exactly the same configuration, which is why it doesn't look like super clean, because it's still gonna look like a merge. Okay, so yeah, so let's just say diff tool. Okay, and we're gonna do no prompt. And we're going to say, please use the smerge tool, and let's configure these two guys, for example. Okay, so as you can see, it still looks like a merge, right? But it's not a merge, right? And you click on a base, and there's no base because it's not a real merge, right? But, you know, it's still, you know, you can still see what changed. Okay, and let's also do it with the 3 dots, right? So now it basically, now you kind of see like behind the scenes, like this is how it would look like if we were to merge these two. This is how it would look like, right? We're not merging anything, but you know, the diff actually shows us exactly, you know, we can see the diff before we actually start the merge, which can be useful sometimes. And by the way, even though there's no alias for this, you can obviously use your own. Okay, great. So the next one that we're going to take a look at is Vim. And Vim doesn't require any configuration. Okay, we're in a very clean state. It's all good. Okay, which is why we don't see this lightning bolt over there. Okay, so let's do git merge topic. Okay, and then we're going to do GMT, and this time we're going to use vimdiff. Okay, now as a reminder, in the very, you know, one of the first videos we installed the space vim, and I actually don't remember the exact key bindings, but essentially it shows us, you know, it's similar to Sublime Merge, right? So this is going to be like the main. This is what we're merging in. This is the base version, right? And this is the result, right? So now it shows you like all of them at once. You don't have to click anything. Okay, so I believe in this case we need to press the leader key, which is space, and then B for buffer, and then N for next, or P for previous, right? So space BN is gonna move the buffer, right? So as you can see, this is like the README local one. Okay, space BN. This is the base. You know, right? So the Vim can be confusing sometimes. Essentially, because like in most editors, tabs work slightly differently. Okay, every time we're switching the buffer, it switches it down there. Okay, like these ones, they stay the same. So if I type space bn again, what it should do, it should show me the remote one, right? So it's going to switch here and it's going to display the remote down there, okay? Space bn, and this is exactly what it did, right? So it switched the remote and it displayed it down here. Space bn, switch to the readme, right? This is the actual readme.md that is currently in your directory. This is how it looks like because we use the diff tool 3 conflict resolution markers. We see this thing and so on. Okay, now I'm not sure if it has like key bindings to help you resolve this, so I believe we have to do this manually. Okay, so let's pick our topic version. Let's do dd to remove the line. Let's do dot a couple of times to repeat this, j to go down, dot to remove this, and we're done. Okay, so shift zz to get out, and we need to close these ones as well. Okay, as you can see, same thing, you know, it resolved this thing. Okay, let's abort the merge. Okay, let's do GM again. Okay, and let's do sorry, GM topic. Okay, and this time we're going to use tool vimdiff 2. Okay, so we're still using vim, right? The same kind of vim, but there's vimdiff, vimdiff 2, and vimdiff 3, and they're all the same. They just rearrange the buffers slightly differently, you know. So if we're going to run this, right, so as you can see, it's very, very similar, right? So it's the same key combination, you know, space bn to move the ones, right? So now you have like the one in the middle is going to be your resulting one, or yeah, you know, space bn, right? Only the one that is in the middle is changing, right? Okay, I'm sure that there are key bindings, you know, to go and you know, choose like this one or this one, but I don't know them, so we're gonna do the same thing as before. Just remove this, go down, remove this, zz, and there we go. Bat readme, there we go. Okay, same thing. Let's abort the merge. Let's do it again. Right, GM topic, and we're gonna do this one with the 3. Right, so it's a different, so this time you don't have even like these panes. Okay, so you just do like this, so you look at all of them like completely separately. Okay, but it's exactly the same files, it's exactly the same merge, same conflict, all the same. Okay, let's resolve it here like this. Okay, this time we actually didn't have to close all of them. That's convenient. Okay, bat readme like this. All right, great. Let's abort the merge again. Let's do this. Okay, so the only two that are left are sort of like the classics, and people would never forgive me if I wouldn't show them to you. So let's just do sort of apt install -y meld and kdiff 3. It's actually going to take a while to install them, maybe like 2 minutes or so. So I'm gonna speed it up in post. All right, it finally finished. It took a couple of minutes. Okay, so yeah, so let's look at meld first. And neither meld nor kdiff 3 require any additional configurations. Okay, so let's just do GM topic. Okay, and GMT tool meld like this. And it's gonna spawn like this, and it's a bit tiny. It looks very similar to vscode. What can we do? Edit, meld, preferences, display tab widths, no font. There we go. Here, there we go. Let's do 20. There we go. Okay, now everybody can read this. Okay, as you can see, it actually uses the files. It just shows them to you. Okay, this is the local one and the main. This is going to be the resulting one, which is the readme.md, and this is going to be the remote one. It doesn't show you the base, but maybe there's a configuration somewhere. Not sure. I haven't played with it. Okay, so it has like the same arrows. Okay, so for example, you can say, okay, choose this one. Okay, so now I'm going to click here. Same as always. We're going to save the file. I'm going to close it. This one will continue. Let's do ll, let's do bat readme, ta-da, same way. Okay, let's abort the merge and let's use it as a diff tool. Actually, maybe we can do g diff tool. Okay, so let's use meld. There we go. Okay, so this is the difference, right? We changed base to a topic and so on. All right, let's close. Oh, actually, this is the one with the 3 diffs. I was actually a bit surprised. This is the with the 3 dots. Okay, so this is what is already in the main, and this is the other one. Okay, so yeah, this was meld, and let's do GM topic again, and let's do GMT tool kdiff 3. Kdiff 3 was actually my favorite a long time ago. And by the way, it shows you like this pop-up. It's super tiny. I'm gonna zoom in and post. It says total number of conflicts 1, number of automatically solved conflicts is 0. And this is what I meant, right? So Git didn't manage to resolve everything automatically, but maybe your tool can. right? So in this case, kdiff couldn't, right? So I'm just going to click OK. Okay, it minimized it. Okay, wow. Okay, so this is super tiny. Okay, so configure kdiff3 font. Application font, file view font. Okay, let's just change this one. Let's just go to 20. Okay, apply. Okay, all right. Maybe we can actually change the application font as well. Configure, change font. Let's go maybe 16. Okay, apply. Okay, right. So yeah, so similar to Vim, it actually displays all of the information to you. Okay, so this is the resulting file, right? This is the output, the README. This is the base, right? So this, I believe this is the first time that the base is on the left. Okay, so this is our current one, readme.md, the local one. This is the one that we're merging in. And this one actually has the ability to do it like things automatically for you. So you can just right click over here, for example, and you can say select lines from C, right? So this is ABC, right? So select lines from C and it's going to do this for you. Also, like all of these tools, they have like, and also Git CLI itself, it has like things to say, okay, just take like all of the changes from C, I believe like somewhere over here. I don't remember where it was. But there's like a button somewhere to say, you know, select C everywhere or something like this. Maybe it's even here. I'm just not seeing it. In any case, there's a way to always do it. Like maybe here. I don't remember. And there are always like configurations to say, you know, like show white spaces and show spaces and tabular characters and so on. Okay. In any case, as always, we click save. There's a line and style. Please choose the line and style manually. File not saved. Oh, interesting. Line and style, let's pick Unix. Okay, let's go save. There we go. Close. Same thing. That readme. I'm not even sure if kdiff is still maintained. I used it a long time ago, and I think last time it was released was in 2014. Now we're pretty much done with the tools. Oh, and by the way, let's use it as a diff tool. So let's abort the merge. Let's go up a couple of times. Let's do kdiff3. There we go. Ta-da! Right. There we go. Okay, so I've shown you a couple of tools, but you know I haven't showed you IntelliJ. I'm not an IntelliJ user, but you know as already mentioned, like many people love it. This video is mostly about merges and divs, but I actually want to show you another tool. I'm actually going to install it real quick. It's called TIG. It's like Git in reverse, and this tool is actually there just to display the commit log. Okay, so I'm just gonna do TIG. It's gonna look like this, and as you can see, we have only like the commit summary and you know the base. And I'm using J and K to go down. Like all you need to know is that Q. You use Q to exit. You use H to display the help. You know Q always goes back, right? So I'm gonna do Q. So for example, let's see the first commit. I'm gonna press enter. It's gonna look like this. J and K goes up and down. Q, close it again. J and K goes up and down. Let's look at this one. There are millions of tools like this. Now we have seen merge tools and diff tools. Some of these tools they actually can also act as commit crafting tools, right? So a tool would open like remember like if you just do like commit, then you know your editor would open. Like not every editor is capable of displaying merges and like or maybe the other way around, right? So these merge tools like kdiff, they don't have a text area where you can type in your commit and stuff, right? So maybe I'm actually not sure. I never tried to use kdiff or meld or anything else as a commit tool. Okay, I always used Vim and I was happy with it. I know that this video is very long and I probably split it up into two. Hopefully not three. In any case, I actually want to show you a very useful thing that allows you to traverse the commit graph without specifying the commits. First, let me create a commit on top of our branch. Okay, first of all, we actually need to finish one of the merges. Okay, so let's do gm topic and let's do gmt. I think our tool is vscode. Okay, so let's go and do accept incoming change, save, close. Okay, so git commit, okay, it's stages, right? Yeah, so git commit message. So this is going to be like the merge commit. Okay, so git log A looks like this now, right? Like this, okay? Let's actually do a commit on top of it. So I'm just going to add a new line to readme.md like this. Okay, add everything, git commit message, adds another line. Okay, git log A. Okay, so this is our graph. Okay, now I'm going to show you a teeny tiny command that actually will help me to show you how to traverse this graph. And this command is rev parse. Okay, now what ref parse does is actually quite a bit involved, but for now we can look at it as a command that simply shows us the actual SHA. So for example, if we do g ref parse, okay, and we're going to give it like topic, for example, then it's going to give us this this hash, okay, def1, and then we're going to see, sorry, why did I say def1? I wanted to say topic. There we go. Okay, let me actually do it again. Git log a. Like this. Okay, so this is this one. You can also do hyphen hyphen short. Short equals 7. Okay, so it's gonna look exactly like this one. Also, you can actually give it like the actual thing, but it's not gonna be useful then, right? 46568, right? Okay, yeah, great. Okay, now I just I just used this one to actually show you how to traverse the graph. Okay, so I'm gonna do git log a. Okay, now the way you do this is by using a tilde. Okay, so if you just do a had, okay, then it's gonna show us, okay, this is where we are. Okay, and it's the same thing as tilde 0. Okay, and now you can use the numbers to basically just go down, right? So for example, 1 goes down to this one, and then you're gonna have 2, it's gonna go down to this one, right? So it just basically goes down like this. Okay, and 3, it's gonna be the base one, which is this one. Okay, now you cannot use negative numbers because remember the pointers, they always go backwards. Okay, now if you wanted to go to the side, like to this one, you would use a caret. Okay, so for example, if you want to say, okay, go down once and then go to the side, right, and then maybe go down again, right? So we would do, you know, go down once, right, so like this, right, and then go to the side, right, and then, well, let's just do this for now. Okay, so it should go to this 8F4. Okay, that's not what I wanted it to do. Oh yeah, I forgot the number. I should do like this. No, I should do 2. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 2. I was confused. Okay, so let's do glog a. Okay, so so yeah, so was this one is it's kind of weird, right? So it has like, you can only specify like 1 or 2, and 1 means basically the same thing as not specifying it at all, so it would go down, and 2 means go to the side. Okay, so it would be like this, right? And then you can go down again, right? So you can say, you know, down again like this, right? So it would go down to this one, right? So it's like 1 down, 1 to the right, even though there is a 2, it's kind of weird, and then another one like this. Okay, in fact, I believe because I use like another tilde afterwards, I can actually remove this one and it will actually do it properly. Yeah. Okay, so this would mean like go 1 down, 1 to the side, and 1 down again. In fact, you don't actually need these numbers. You can just like repeat them. Okay, so if you do like this, it's going to behave exactly like this, right? So for example, if you want to go down like 1, 2, you can just use 2 of them like this, right? So yeah, 3, 9, C, right? And you know, 3 of them, you just do this, right? D3. Now, obviously, you can use this one with any command, right? So, for example, git show, and you can do had and like this, like this, like this, and it's going to show us the base version. Now, I started with a had, but you obviously don't need to start with a had. Okay, so for example, let's do this one. Okay, so 58B, right? So you can do like 58B9, and then go down once, and show me this one 39C. Okay. I did git show. Let's do the ref parse thing. Ref parse short equals 7, like this. Okay, so it's this one. Now, in any case, 99% of the time, you're simply going to use it with 1 tilde because it's going to mean, you know, to go backwards, right? So, for example, over here, we added this 1 line in this commit. Let's say that we forgot to add something, right? And we would say git reset. We want to go over here. Okay, so if we go over there, you know, without the hard flag, right? We don't need the hard flag. If we just go over there, right? So we say git reset this one, right? So we're going to move the main pointer there, but we're not going to use the hard flag, right? It simply is going to remove this commit, but it's not going to remove the changes, right? So it's very, very often that you would just do git reset, right? So alias git grh, right? So git reset. So if you just do grh and then you just say had, right, and then you say go down 1, right? So you don't need to look it up, right? So this is a very, very typical command that you always do, like, you committed something, but you forgot to add something. So you just do this, you remove the commit, but you don't remove the changes. Okay, so I'm going to run this. So we're going to do git log A. Like this one is gone, right? So this one, 18C, right? But as you can see, it says unstaged changes after reset. So now our working copy is dirty, right? So if we do GST, we're going to see that it's just laying around there, this new line. Okay, so now we can do our changes and we can commit it again. I'm actually going to do git reset hard to go back to, what was it called? 1874. 1874. Okay, so we're resetting hard actually forward now. Okay, so our graph looks like this now. Okay, it's like as if I hadn't shown it to you. And I did this because accidentally we actually covered the majority of the reset command. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the soft flag. Okay, like this. Okay, and it's going to be exactly the same as before, right? So it's going to remove this commit. It's not going to remove the changes, but it's also going to stage the README. Right, so before it said, where was it? Where did we do it? Here, right? It said unstaged changes. This time it's gonna keep them staged. Okay, like this, and as you can see, GST, they're already staged. Okay, this is just a teeny tiny difference. Okay, so let's do again GRHH. What was it? 1874. Okay. And there we go. Great. As always, I'm sorry that this video was longer than expected. We're pretty much done with the series. Well, at least I hope so. There should be, not more than, I don't know, maybe 3 videos or so. In any case, I see you in the next one. As always, it's been Vlad, devinside.com. Don't forget to like this video if you did, subscribe if you want to improve the developer inside you. And if you learned something today, consider supporting me on GitHub sponsors or Patreon, whatever you prefer. And I've watched my videos weeks and sometimes even months before everyone else. And most importantly, take care.